Okay, well, I think we're ready to go, Marcia. We've been on live for about 30 seconds now.
Let's do
I
this.
would like to welcome everyone who has joined this info session. We've done a couple of these last year, so we're very happy to just retake them and talk to our new candidates and prospects. Let me just present myself first. My name is Shema Sedi. I am the program officer of full-time degrees at Africa Business School, and today we're here to present to you the Master of International Management program, which we probably already heard about. It's getting a little bit famous lately, so we're happy just to walk you a little bit through the details of this program, have you understand more its structure, see if you have any questions that you would like to ask, etc. So with me is the academic director of the program and our associate professor at Africa Business School, Professor Marcio Moral Baptista, who's going to be telling you a little bit more in detail about the actual content, learning objectives, and career development goals for this program. I'm going to give you the floor to present yourself, and then we can start the main program.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Shema. And hello, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are. My name is Marcio Amaral Batista. I'm Associate Professor of Strategy with Africa Business School for 3 years now in Morocco with ABS, as we call it for short. Very glad to be here with you today. So yeah, I guess we can just jump into start discussing, right? So I guess it's probably up to me to kick off the discussions here, but please do intervene. Please send us our questions. The chat box is open for you. So please keep your questions coming up, and we'll be glad to take them. Shema, feel free to jump in anytime. We're actually going to do this together. The idea is for us not to talk too much, but then leave lots of space for your questions too, and doubts that you may have. Let's make this session as productive and as fun as possible. So yeah, this is the Master of International Management program, or the MIM, as we call it for short. This is the 3rd year in which we are delivering the MIM program at ABS, at Africa Business School in Morocco. So we're very happy to introduce this 3rd edition to you, for which we'll start applications very soon, as you're probably aware. So let me start by telling you in the next slide where this all comes from. So in slide number 2, you see the African continent, right? This is precisely where it all began when we designed this program, the Master of International Management. This program has Africa at its absolute core. So this is one of the points why we know this program is very different from other programs, other MBA-like programs that are out there, because this is built from scratch with Africa in mind, for African organizations, and to develop African leaders. Because as you know, well, there's so much going on in the world these days, right? Large-scale military conflicts, such a reshaping going on in the energy flows, and protectionism, nationalism, even terrorism, right? Disruptions in global food systems, value chains all over the world, changing so much in response to those threats and opportunities that we see that are shaping the world as we speak. Right? Every day we see the new rise of infotech, AI, technology itself, the centrality of China as a manufacturing hub. It looks like it was long ago, but it was yesterday. We had pandemic striking the world again with COVID-19. So we're being bombarded every day as we speak by major shifts in the macro external environment in which organizations do their business and in which we live. And these factors affect our lives in many more ways than we can expect and we should assume at a first glance, right? And of course, at the center of potential solutions to those problems on the one hand, and at the center of the geographies in the world where solutions will arrive to these, to respond to these challenges is Africa, as you know. So Africa is more and more connected to the global village, right? It's more and more part of the solution, and is more and more impacted by those problems and threats as they change our lives every day. So it is with this backdrop that we totally design the MIM program from scratch, and now we move into its third edition in the next semester. So fundamentally, what it delivers. Yes, Shema, please go ahead. Next slide. So in a nutshell, what is the MIM about, right? What it delivers to you as you join the program. So very concretely, right? It will give you the tools and the knowledge and the practice to understand what's going on in international business and how it affects Africa in a very practical and concrete way. Second, it will train you to make business decisions, right? Business judgments and decisions that will be instrumental for you and your organizations to deploy international ventures from Africa, right? From Africa to the world. Some of the coolest ventures that are spinning out of Africa right now aim to resolve and aim to give response to some of these weak problems the world is facing, right? So we want to make sure that you are trained to be an instrumental part and to lead some of those ventures into the future, right? So this is number two. And number three, of course, we want to make sure your learning experience is quite unique, right? So we use lots of case-based learning. We use numerous cases that are fundamentally based in Africa. As I mentioned, the program is totally rooted in Africa. But we also want to make sure that you are trained on how to think about those issues and potential solutions to address them from a business, from a management standpoint. So we train you in the best class with tools and frameworks that help you not only problem solve those situations, but also problem frame them, be able to think about how to frame with problems in an innovative way and in a practical way to help African organizations stay abreast of those developments. We can move to the next slide. Yeah. So why we think this program is singular? What are the uniqueness points of the MIN when we look at other programs that are out there in the world? Right? First, Africa at the center, as I mentioned. Right. So the perspective are international business challenges in, from, and for Africa. Number one. Number two, we adopt a unique problem-based learning approach, which is a very important skill for you. And there's a lot of evidence out there suggesting that among the skills that employers are looking in graduates of masters in management and MBA programs, problem solving is consistently number one. We designed the program in such a way that problem solving skills are trained from the first day until the last. And this logic is intertwined throughout the program to the 2 years. So this is an important point in our field. Number three, you're probably aware that we are part of UM6P, University Mohammed VI Polytechnique, which is well known by now in Morocco and abroad as an entrepreneurial university, an innovation hub from Morocco to Africa and the world. So we benefit from being a part of this thriving ecosystem, entrepreneurial and innovation. Our faculty is very much international. Around 70% of the faculty body for the program is composed by people from international backgrounds. Which, if you think about it, we're talking about the Master International Management Program review. This is very important in the context of the program itself. And finally, this is a program that is fully taught in English. So from day one to the last day, we discuss and perform all the activities in English, uh, which is today's lingua franca in business, if you think about it, right, internationally. So this will be part of your training as well. So next. This is at a glance, what the structure of the program is about. I'm not going to get too boring on details of what the structure is, but there are a few important messages here. So 4 semesters. The first semester has to do with the foundations of international business, right? Semester 2 has to do how do you add to those foundations functional knowledge. So you have modules that are oriented to the functional knowledge that builds upon the foundations from semester 3. Semester 2. Semester 3, we call it business development. And the reason for that is the semester in which we sort of put it all together. In terms of the module, do we still see the presentation?
Yes, sorry. I think something went wrong. Let me just should have it back up.
Okay. Anyhow, as we check this, so we're talking about semester 3. So semester 3 is the one where we're putting it all together in terms of integrative modules that prepare you for the practice of international business. And semester 4, finally, is where you take your internships in Moroccan or international organizations. This internships is primarily geared towards your practical experience in those organizations. They may also be taken in research intensive settings if you are so inclined to pursue a future opportunity in research after your master. So this is in a nutshell the structure of the 4 semesters. Oh, we have the presentation back now. Thank you, Shaima. We can go to the next one. So, well, what comes next? We feel the program, and actually we built a program with your employability in mind. This is a key underpinning of the program. So we want to make sure you are very well prepared by the end of those 2 years for exciting career opportunities, such as management positions in international trade and sport in various areas, right? And marketing, sales, product management, business development, supply chain, finance, lots of exciting positions in international business. Also positions internationally as you take regional responsibility, right, for the developing and deploying businesses in other geographies, other national positions, and multinational companies. We would also be very well prepared to take on positions in strategy consulting firms in Morocco or internationally, diplomatic government positions in investment promotion, trade promotion agencies internationally. We also take a lot of attention in helping you develop entrepreneurial ventures if you are so inclined. So this would be the perfect spot for you to develop your idea first, further up until a point it becomes, by the end of the course, ready to go to market and launched in an international context. And as I mentioned before, if you feel inclined towards a research career after your master's, there's also a possibility for you. So you may, at the end, be willing to apply for PhD opportunities in Morocco. So yeah, this is in a nutshell what the program is all about. Shema, you might want to share now what it takes to, in terms of the next steps for those willing to apply.
Absolutely. Thank you, Marcia, for that comprehensive explanation. I think now our audience at least gets a little bit the big access of our content. And I think it's also important just to remind them that our applications are open. So I would like to start by saying that the applications are currently open. You can find the link on the website of the university, um6p.ma, but also at Africa Business School, LinkedIn, Instagram, or also our website. So if you haven't started your application yet, please feel free to start by that, just to discover what the portal looks like, and then submit it. So first date to keep in mind is our application deadline, sorry, is on the 15th of April. So you will have about 20 days right now to get there to prepare your application. What does this application actually tackles? So first thing to keep in mind is that this program accepts applicants that come from any sort of background, as long as they do have completed their bachelor degree or their licence here in Morocco. So that means it's a bac +4 or +3. So whatever you have been doing in your undergraduate, if you would like to now get into the managerial landscape with an international approach or perspective, this program could be a great fit for you. So it's open to those backgrounds. If you have completed it, please use your diploma or your certificate of completion while applying. If you haven't finished yet, we do accept any sorts of document that shows from your school that you will be graduating or expected to graduate. So keeping in mind that. So the major requirements are to hold your diploma on a bachelor degree or licence. Then we do have a grade that is minimal for you to apply, that is based on our university rules, and that we will be communicated later on once we do your file screening. So how does the actual admission procedure goes? Once you finish your application through the portal, a very friendly portal that you can have access to, as I mentioned, in our website, we will take your documents and we will do the file screening. This first phase is really just taking into consideration that your administrative documents are all good to go and that everything that you have submitted is, let's say, a good fit for the program. So you have respected all the guidelines. Once we finish the file screening, so we finish the applications on the 15th of April, that's when your portal or your login will be stopped. We will do the file screening and then we will get back to you. Actually, we have an admission team that is going to be working with you very closely. If you happen to have any kind of document that is missing, they will be contacting you to say, hi, maybe this PDF is not opening, or you've missed your transcripts for semester 3, stuff like that. They will reach out to you and make sure you're completing your application by the deadline. As mentioned, so once we finish that, we go through file screening, and then the admission officers would go back to you with news regarding when is the written and the oral assessment is happening. For the Masters in International Management, we have 3 sorts of, let's say, phases within the admission procedure. The first one is after file screening, if you get a call back, that means you will sit into the written test. The written test is the technical part, let's call it that way, of your admission process as a whole. This will be happening online through a platform in which we will provide you with the login, and you will have to sit for about, I think, an hour 20 to go through the test. So this test will be happening one day. So you have to make sure you make yourself available, you stay put, and you're aware of the deadlines you have. Once you finish that test, and I will tell you a little bit more about the content of it and the nature of it later on, once you finish that, you will be also called for a second test that assesses your languages. As a university, we want our graduates to be fluent in both French and English. So by the end of your graduation of the program, you will be tested in the level of those. So within your admission process, within your application, we want to make sure that you are in a good standing academically within those languages. Giving priority to English because that's the language we use to actually teach the program. So you will have to ensure at least a B2. If you already have a diploma that assesses or that tells you that you're already doing good in your English level, assessing a B2, it can be a TOEFL, it can be an IELTS, please feel free to add those in your actual application. So once you are uploading your documents, you can upload a certification of English teaching that we will be using to exempt you from the English exam. So that possibility does exist. Then you will have to take, of course, the French test. Once we move on from the first technical assessment that I mentioned as written main test of admission, then the language test, then we will get you to the oral assessment. So if you get a call back from the first part, you will be sitting through the interviews. The interviews are a set of questions, and it happens over 30 minutes approximately, in which you will be talking and interacting with faculty members from our school and taking part of the program. This interview is basically to assess your fit for the program, your fit for the cohort, and see your motivations, your career development goals. How do you see yourself in the future, etc. So make sure that you're well prepared for that interview, because it also has a good percentage of influence on your final admission grade. How do we assess our students in general? As Professor Marcio has mentioned, this is a program that was conceived for future leaders. So we want students that have this incentivized mind of leadership, that they do have a leadership sense, that they have innovative ideas, that they would like to maybe in the future undertake entrepreneurial actions, but at the same time have a reflection for their country and for the continent, which is why the master's has been contextualized in the African, let's say, market and African content. So once the admission process has gone through, we will get back to you around mid-June with our final admission decision. So if you get a call back to admitted to the program, and hence you will also have the chance to apply for scholarships. UM6P, our university, and of course our program adheres to those rules, offers two sets of scholarships. There's one scholarship called the Excellency Scholarship that is attributed by the department, so we do not have to apply to it actually. We will offer it with our admission letter if you make it to the top scoring students or prospects within the admission process. So that will be given to you. You do not have to apply to it. The second scholarship is the one based on economical and family situations, which you are invited to happily apply to. Once you get your admission, if you're in, you will also be sent a link to our platform of scholarship, in which you have to fill out a certain documents that should be according and let's say legally binding and correct, depending on the guideline we have sent to you. So those are the two types of scholarships, and the percentage of scholarship can vary depending on your situation and also the documents provided. So it can go from a 0% percentage to 100% percentage depending on your conditions. Finally, we will try to have our final list by July, 1st of July, first week of July, we should be done by admissions. And then we will be working with you in finalizing your scholarships, finalizing your enrollment, all the documents that you should be submitting to the entity, etc. This master degree is set to open its doors on October. So that's when we start actually the main courses with the first semester. As Professor Marcio has mentioned, the first semester will be mainly foundational, then you'll get into the functional levels, and then on the third semester, you will be invited to the entrepreneurial, more business-oriented modules. So within a nutshell, your admission process should be starting right now. If you haven't started yet, if you're interested in the MIM program, please feel free to check our website and our socials so that you make sure you're uploading everything to the platform, getting messages from admission officers if something is missing, and then following up on the procedure. Just to follow back on what I mentioned regarding your technical exam or your entry exam that we have on an online platform that is called Gorilla, we will be sharing all the logins with you, so you do not have to worry and create an account, etc. This is going to be provided by the department. How you can prepare for that exam, because I know those are the questions that students sometimes have in mind. If you can go online and practice the GMAT type of questions or the GRE, those are well-known graduate tests, you would be perfectly prepared for this kind of for the tests we offer, because the questions are pretty similar in let's say the structure of it and the content of it. We are looking for questions regarding critical thinking, problem solving, things regarding numerical reasoning, and they will also have a reflection on case studies to be able to see your way of analyzing those sort of data. As Professor Marcio mentioned, this is a very hands-on master's, I would say. Our students have the chance to do projects, to work with the professors, to present etc. So we would like to assess you from the beginning to see if you're not just an academic good fit, but also in the way you reflect, in the way you study, in the way you present, etc. So everything will be assessed through our admission process. Deadlines to keep in mind again, 15th of April. If you would like to finish up your application, we will get back to you by May to undertake the written and the oral interview. And finally, your answers would be out by mid-June. I would like to mention just one final thing. I think we've been over all the academic aspects of the program actually, and you might know a little bit more about the content. What's also really good, and I think it's the competitive advantage of this kind of program, especially the MIM, is that this learning by doing philosophy that Africa Business School has does not just apply to its academics. We're also very open to welcoming new ideas. So our students are very hands-on, even on clubs, on initiative, on associations. We do set a lot of events. So if you end up joining the MIM, you will be able also to sit through different workshops with different thematics that we do here at Africa Business School, be able to network because we give a very big importance to career development of our students. So the academic curriculum also tackles professional employment skills that will be tackled by the career center that we have at the university, etc. So it's a very rich program in terms of academics, but also in terms of student life. You will be able to be part of very good initiatives in consulting, in climate change, even in arts. So we do provide that set of skills as well that train you in the soft skill part, I would say, and can make you a little bit more connected with your community. Finally, just to keep in mind as well, this is a program that is fully taught in English. So if you're planning to apply and you can still train yourself a little bit, if you do not feel comfortable yet in English, just make sure you're studying a little bit before showing up to the main test, because it will be conducted fully in English, not just the classes, but also the main entry test. And I think we've done this circle of information about all the main parts. We have a couple of questions actually, Marcio, that I'm going to be reading from the chat box. So feel free if you have to jump in.
Good. Let's take the questions.
Okay, so I think the first one is already covered because we've been through the modules, we have presented them. I'm answering Hussein, who's saying, I have a bachelor degree in agricultural economics. Can I apply for international management? Because I see that most of our students are from engineering. Do you want to take that, Marcio?
Oh, you absolutely can, Hussein. The program is open from students to every background, as Shane has mentioned. So, yeah, we encourage you to apply.
Good. So that's not a restriction. If you're interested by the MIM, we do not accept just engineers. Please feel free to just finish up your application. Then we have Miriam saying, I have an IELTS certificate. Where can I upload it on the platform? So what we can do is, if you do not have the link where to upload this, please check the admission officer in charge of your program. You will find the contact on our website and email them directly regarding this. They might provide you with a link where you could be uploading those certificates, or they might just guide you on the proper direction. So please feel free to check our website. Then I'm some months away to getting my bachelor degree. This is from Mohammed. In soil science, can I still apply on agribusiness master program? So this is a webinar on MIM, International Management Program. Please feel free to connect on Wednesday. That's when the agribusiness seminar will be taking place at the same time, 4:30, and they will be able to accept your questions by then. Is it TOEIC accepted? We do accept certifications, TOEFL, TOEIC, and IELTS. Please just submit them, and depending on your grade or your score, we will let you know if it's going to be feasible or not. Good. We have a couple more of questions regarding a little bit more of content. This one is regarding the final modules on entrepreneurial and a little bit more of business development. Could we give a little bit more of detail, Marcio, on that one? Your mic is off, sorry.
Yes, what is the question? I don't see the question.
Not able to upload it, but it's basically just give a little bit more feedback regarding the third semester on the entrepreneurial perspective of the.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. The whole idea is that, well, what happens in the 2 first semesters is to give you the foundation to to develop an entrepreneurial idea. That is in an international context, obviously, right? So that may be the case on a corporate environment. So if you are preparing yourself for a future career in corporate, then being entrepreneurial, as we like to call this, is a very important ability, right? So we prepare you for that. Now, you may be very interested in developing your own venture, your own business idea, your entrepreneurial idea. Well, the third semester is precisely the place to do that. If you see the modules that are there, and we have it on screen, Shema, the modules for the third semester. Can we project that? Fundamentally, if you're looking at developing your entrepreneurial idea, so you probably be centered on the international entrepreneurship module, in which you have a full course dedicated to structuring your idea, testing the viability of your ideas, and preparing your venture for launch. That's the whole focus of this course, International Entrepreneurship. Of course, we have other modules that help you do that, right? So we have one module that is very interesting called Digitally Enabled Business Models. This is a very useful module, as you may imagine, especially if you're thinking of taking your business your business venture internationally. These days, more often than not, international expansion is geared by technology. It's geared by digital strategies, right? By social networking, by putting your business idea online and connecting. This is so much easier than it was before, than has ever been, to deploy a business idea internationally. So this is what you're going to be developing in digitally enabled business models. International negotiation and cross-cultural management, of course, is a very important ability that international entrepreneurs need to develop, right? How to adapt and adjust to different multicultural contexts internationally, right? International property rights, taxation and trade law is also a very important ability that you need to master. If you're thinking about how to conceptualize your idea and take it internationally, you have to very crisp understanding on of the international law underpinnings, right? That surrounding your business idea. Of course, managing projects internationally is also very important. So, long story short, the third semester is the semester in which you will fundamentally work on designing and preparing to deploy your entrepreneurial idea internationally, which you can continue to do in the fourth semester during the internship. So hopefully by the end of the fourth semester, you will be very well prepared to take your idea to get towards viability. That's how you prepare you to your international entrepreneurship.
Good, thank you, Marcio. I think that that covered pretty much the whole question. I have a new one by Yasir that says, would you suggest any platform to get ready for the written test? As I mentioned, our test is pretty similar to the main graduate admission test globally delivered. So if you can just go on the net and look for materials for GMAT and GRE, there are a lot of platforms actually that not just give you the example of questions that you can find, but also content. There are also ebooks on that sense that can help you with the preparation material.
Yeah, we have also a question from Ethan. Do the 4 semesters take place at UM6P in Morocco, right? So I can take this one. The answer is yes for the first 3 semesters. The 4th semester may or may not take place in Morocco. Remember, the 4th semester has to do with the internship. So it's fully dedicated to internship. So you may take your internship in Morocco or abroad. But as for the other 3, yes, UM6P in Morocco, in Rabat.
Correct. And I wanted just to build up a little bit more on that internship. Yeah, the final actual internship before graduation happens in your fourth semester, but we encourage our students to do internships in the summer of their first year. So currently, the second cohort that we have, we're encouraging all of them to go out to the job market, have an internship of 3 months, 2 months, in order to actually experience what they have been studying through the first year, and to trying to see also what the job market looks like and what kind of directions or inclinations they might have in the future. So having the final internship on the 6 months, of course, is mandatory, but we do encourage you to do a 3 months internship within the first year. Scholarship
Keep your question
platform.
coming. Keep your questions coming.
Yes. So there's one regarding the scholarship. I'm not able to apply to the scholarship. So you're not going to be able to apply to it right now, actually. You end up applying to the scholarship once you receive your admission letter. So once you go through the whole admission process and we send you the admission offer, you will have a link to our scholarship platform. Right in there, you will be able to apply. And then again, this would be applied to the scholarship for social needs, not the one for the excellency, which is actually attributed by the department. Okay. And regarding application fees, there are no application fees. So you should just submit your documents to the platform. We will run through them. You will not have to pay any fee till you actually get enrolled, and you will have to pay for your tuition then if you do not have any kind of scholarship. So no fees for application. Okay. Any other questions? Please feel free to drop them. Okay, good. Well, it seems that we have wrapped up all our questions. I just wanted to give you again a little refresher. The 15th of April is actually our deadline. So please feel free, if you're in a rush, if you're about to
Coming up
finish.
fast.
Yes, coming up very, very fast. So if you are currently completing your application, just make sure to finish it, just because you cannot know if we will be requiring something else. So my tips for future student is read very well what is asked from you, right? Do not upload documents on a rush. Make sure what you're uploading is what is asked from you. And at the same time, make sure you look into the deadlines. For preparation of the test, again, visit websites for GR or GMAT. Make sure you're just reading through for your interview, as long as you really know that this program matches you. If you feel like you're going to be an add-up to the cohort, please feel free to give your motivations, to speak eloquently, and also to give real grounding of why you want to join the program. This was our webinar on the Masters in International Management. And I have one more question. Is the Tajmash accepted? No, you do not have to submit that, because we have an admission test. So you can use it. If you have been practicing for the Tajmash, that should be completely fine, because it's one also of the graduate big three. So it could be a good practice, but you will still have to sit through our admission test. So we do not waive the admission test. We waive the language test for certificates. The admission test has to be delivered to all potential prospects and future students, actually. Okay, now, yes, we have wrapped it up. So again, thank you so much for joining us. This was the webinar on the Masters in International Management. Our applications are still open. With me was Professor Marcio Amaral Baptista. Thank you for your time, and thank you for giving us a big amount of content, actually, that is probably going to help our prospects a lot.
Thank you so very much, everybody. We're really looking forward to seeing your applications, and we wish you all the success as you proceed through the application process. If you have any questions, you know who to talk to. So feel free to reach out to us anytime, and best of luck in your applications. It was great being
Awesome.
with you.
Thank you, Marcio. Again, guys, thank you for being here. We will have more webinars to come for different other programs. So make sure you're checking our website, but also our LinkedIn or our Instagram page. It was a pleasure having you. If you have any other questions, please feel free to send them through email or to contact your admission officer. Have a great day.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.